Now, with the recent release of the Dota 2 workshop files, everybody has been going crazy about Source 2. So I thought it would be a good idea to gather together every bit of information we have on the Source 2 game engine and tell you everything you need to know about Valve's Source 2. Now, Source 2's history goes all the way back to August 6th, 2012, when Source Filmmaker's beta was first released to the public to be able to look through and experiment with. It wasn't until somebody was able to look through the code of this Source Filmmaker beta and find a couple of weird codes. One of these codes just flat out says Next Gen Source 2. Digging deeper into the Source Filmmaker code, people were able to find different icons that seemed to be hammer icons yet more up to date, and other references to things called Source 2 tools. Digging even deeper shows some details and references to Source 2 taking advantage of 64-bit systems. Later in the year, on November 7th, 2012, 4chan/v/ visited Gabe for his birthday, and after giving Gabe DLC as his gift, they were later able to interview him during the get-together. One of the questions asked was if the next engine was in development and when we would be able to see it. Gabe then responds with the engine is in development, the only thing they need is a game to be able to ship the engine out with. Now, on June 2nd, 2013, during the large Steamworks update with all Source and Gold Source Engine games, there was a lot of code being able to be seen in the Steamworks SDK, some of which referencing Left 4 Dead 3, others of which referencing Source 2. Later in the month, due to a bug with Valve's mailing database, the public was able to take a look at several internal projects at Valve, including Half-Life 3, Left 4 Dead 3, and Source 2. Later during that same summer, while Valve was preparing for the International 3 tournament, fans were given a large tour of the Valve headquarters. Many pictures were taken during this tour, and most of these pictures were of merchandise. However, one high-resolution picture was of one of the monitors inside of Valve's offices. On this monitor were references to Source 2 as an engine itself, Left 4 Dead 3 and its ability to run Source 2, and other Dota 2 updates. In January 2014, a website called Steam Database allegedly had a large leak including many files and folders relating to Source 2. Many people question the legitimacy of this leak, and we're gonna keep it until the end of the video. Now, on January 27th, a PowerPoint presentation was leaked from Valve's internal servers, and the PowerPoint appeared to have a picture of the plantation level from Left 4 Dead 2 rebuilt in Source 2. On March 9th, 2014, after the $500,000 donation goal was reached for the Heart of Racing charity effort, Gabe did an Ask Me Anything on Reddit. And although lots of questions were asked, the only one that really matters was the question, what improvements will we see out of the Source 2 engine? By which Gabe responded, the biggest improvements will be an increasing productivity of content creation. Also in March, there was a reference to Half-Life 3 in the Source Filmmaker render code, as seen here. And probably the biggest part of information that I can give you is that 1, Valve will be attending Gamescom this year, and that's only a little bit later in this month of August. The second biggest thing that's going on around the same time as Gamescom is Valve released the Dota 2 Workshop Alpha. Now, the Dota 2 Workshop is to coincide with Steam Workshop being enabled for Dota 2, but there were a lot of different things with this Dota 2 Workshop that seemed weird. First of all, this is Hammer, but this is Hammer brought up to date. It is so much more simple to use as opposed to the old Source Hammer that we had to deal with, bringing back the idea of easier and more efficient content creation that Gabe talked about in his AMA. Also within this content creation system is a Steam App ID that matches exactly to the alleged Steam database leak that happened back in January of 2014. This is very important, as the leak itself mentions many different things that have yet to be announced. First of all, CS2. That's Counter-Strike 2. Second of all, Dota, Dota_core, and Dota_imported. Dota_imported means that the original Source version of Dota is being imported into the Source 2 engine. Next is HL3 and HL3 imported. Once again, that means that Half-Life 3 has been in development for so long now, it had to be imported from the Source engine into the Source 2 engine. Next is Left 4 Dead 2 imported and Left 4 Dead 2 Source 2. This just means that Left 4 Dead 3 might not be Left 4 Dead 3, but instead a Source 2 remastered remake of Left 4 Dead 2. However, the next folder is called Left 4 Dead 3. And then after some SDK tools, relists, and logos folders, there is TF and then TF_imported. That means that in accordance to all the other _imported folders, Team Fortress 2 will also be getting a port over to Source 2. And all of that information to me is incredible. Anyways, that was all you needed to know about Source 2. Thank you so much for watching. Subscribe down below for more videos in this kind of a style. I do mod reviews, I do different types of videos where I talk about canon of Valve or characters in the canon and all bunch of stuff related to Valve. Thank you for watching. I'm Tyler McVicker. This is Valve News Network. Adios.